Hey everyone, Tony Leonardi here, your certified financial planner professional from Newtown, Connecticut, back with another episode of A Smarter Way to Retire, because there really is a smarter way to retire. We're in week 2 of our new deep dive format, and I'm loving the feedback that we're getting online. Keep it coming. Thanks for the comments. If you missed last week's episode on financial modeling, check it out. It's a must-have, and it's your crystal ball for all of this financial planning stuff that we talk about and explore here on A Smarter Way to Retire. To do proper, smart financial planning, you need a good financial model. So check out last week's episode. Today we're diving deep into strategic Roth conversions for 2026. This is one of the smartest ways to slash lifetime taxes, especially now. If you're winging it, if you're doing this without running the numbers, without a financial model, you could be leaving thousands on the table for the IRS. So let's start with a simple concept. A Roth conversion takes money from a tax-deferred account, like a 401k or an IRA, and moves it into essentially a tax-free account, into a Roth IRA. You pay the taxes now at your current rate, but then, boom, in the future, all future growth and withdrawals are tax-free for life. No required minimum distributions at age 73, which is a huge game changer, especially for those of you out there who are looking to pass some or all of your assets to your family. A Roth conversion is all about paying taxes now in low brackets to avoid paying taxes later in high brackets. It's simple. That's all it is. Pay now in low brackets versus pay later in higher brackets. And there really is no one stock answer for everyone. I see some advisors on YouTube saying no one should do Roth conversions. And then I see other advisors saying the opposite. Everyone should do Roth conversions. Well, the question of if you should be doing Roth conversions, when to do them, and how much is a very personal decision based on your set of facts and your goals. There is no one-size-fits-all approach for Roth conversions. So why are we focusing on this now? Well, we're getting into tax season here for 2025 taxes. Interest rates are lower than they were last year, 3 to 4% for safe money, making cash less appealing. And conversions are more of a no-brainer. Lock in today's low brackets before any potential hikes, like what might come after the 2026 midterm elections and beyond. With markets doing fairly well, the Dow broke 50,000 a couple weeks ago, although it's hovering below that right now. Your accounts are probably bigger than they were a year ago or 5 years ago. So converting now shrinks future RMD taxes that can push you into even higher brackets down the road. For families thinking about the next 1 or 2 generations, this is huge because your heirs get all of your Roth accounts tax-free with no required distributions, no 10-year rule for distributions as beneficiaries on their part, keeping your legacy intact without the IRS taking a cut. Unlike if you leave them IRA accounts, which could cause them to pay fairly high unnecessary taxes. And here's the contrarian bit. A lot of folks say, wait for lower rates. But trust me, timing of Roth conversions is about as dangerous and difficult as timing of the market. Modeling shows that timing is often a trap. Delaying means missing out on tax-free compounding and risking even larger RMDs come age 73. So when it comes to Roth conversions, don't guess. Let's see how we do it the right way. I've got 3 quick stories from folks at different stages in life, all powered by good, solid financial planning, financial modeling with a bit of AI to personalize recommendations. Take a client of mine, 28-year-old tech guy here in Connecticut. He's in a fairly low bracket now, but expects big earnings ahead. So we talked about, for him, prioritizing direct Roth IRA contributions over maxing out his traditional 401k. Paying taxes now at his current lower rates and getting tax-free growth forever. I see too many young people making this mistake, putting too much money into their 401k today while they're in low tax brackets, only to take it out in the future at higher tax brackets. The IRS thanks you for that move. You're basically creating a reverse Roth conversion, and it's not smart. So for this young tech guy, we also modeled, because he's in low tax brackets, converting a small amount, about $10,000 a year from existing traditional IRA accounts. We projected over $150,000 in tax savings over his lifetime. Without it, he'd wait and pay taxes at much higher tax rates, perhaps 32 to 37% down the road on his withdrawals, instead of locking in low rates today. So if you're young, if you're in your 20s and 30s, Roth IRAs and Roth conversions can certainly make sense. Then we have a 64-year-old couple. They have about $1.2 million in IRAs. Their model showed converting a fairly small amount, about $16,000 a year, for the next 9 years before RMDs kick in at age 73. And that drops their long-term effective tax rate from around 22% down to 12%, saving them about $25,000 a year in taxes down the road post required minimum distribution, post RMD. It also avoids that RMD bloat where you get pushed up into higher tax brackets, freeing up about $200,000 for their heirs. That was a nice little legacy boost, nice legacy plan. And I have a 75-year-old retiree already dealing with RMDs. Modeling and AI simulations pinpointed some partial conversions plus qualified charitable distributions to cut taxable income by about 15%, dodging those pesky IRMA surcharges and saving about $9,000 a year. It kept more for his family without dipping into principal. The common thread in each of these cases, good financial modeling. We ran thousands of economic scenarios each time for each client, factoring in market volatility, inflation, longevity, even healthcare costs to help make some smart choices. No modeling? Well, they'd just be guessing and probably overpaying taxes. And who wants to overpay taxes? Certainly not me. All right, so let's look at some actionable steps for you out there. Here's how to get started with some AI tips to keep it easy. Check your bracket. Either grab a tax calculator on a website, there are lots of them out there, or look at your current financial model, see what tax bracket you're in currently and what tax bracket you're projected to be in down the road. You want to look for years when you're in low tax brackets, let's say the 22% bracket. AI tools and modeling can help flag your conversion window. That's typically between the time you retire and age 73 when RMDs start. We call that the conversion window. Next, run your model. You can use a free model online for basic calculations, but for in-depth analysis, use AI-powered Monte Carlo modeling like we use in my office or through another CFP. Test everything in your model out to age 100 for longevity, tailoring your plan for your family, your goals, and your health needs. Next, pick the amounts and the timing of your conversions. Model different what-if scenarios. Convert just enough each year to fill your tax bracket. You don't want to spill over into the next tax bracket. AI and modeling help map out multi-year plans, avoiding bracket creep. Each year, your income could be a little different, so be careful. You don't want to convert the same amount each year. You want to fill the bracket each year. Then layer QCDs or HSAs, qualified charitable distributions or health savings accounts. Use your model to test smart combinations. QCDs let you satisfy part or all of your RMD tax-free if you're charitably inclined. HSAs can be used to pay for qualified medical expenses like hearing aids or long-term care, which can free up cash from your other accounts to pay the taxes due on your Roth conversions without having to sell investments or dip into your retirement funds. Review everything annually. Things change, rates, taxes, markets. Use AI, use your modeling to tweak your plan on an annual basis. Make sure you stay on track. Quick tip, if you're in your 20s and 30s, start small, but take advantage of that magic compounding. Albert Einstein said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Take advantage of it if you're young. The 50s and 60s is the prime time to do Roth conversions because you're pre-RMD, pre-required minimum distribution. And if you're currently retired, your income might be a little bit lower than it has been in previous years. If you're currently retired, focus on your legacy and tie in your health-wealth connection. Conversions could free up cash for preventative care, helping you stretch out those healthy years. So Roth conversions can really supercharge your plan, but you have to model them right if you really want to win. No more guessing. Secure lower taxes, beat longevity, and build that legacy. I believe so strongly in the power of financial modeling that I'm willing to offer each of you a no cost, no obligation financial model so you can see exactly where you stand. What tax brackets you're in currently, what tax brackets you're projected to be in the future, and how Roth conversions might fit into your model to help save you some taxes. If you'd like to grab a spot on my calendar to build a financial model, I'll leave a link below. Obviously, models are offered on a first-come, first-served basis as long as my time allows. Don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications. And since modeling is really the key and I believe in it so much, my offer is I'll build you your own real-time financial model on your own personal financial website. No cost, no obligation, no strings, while supplies last, while spots on my calendar are available. You can book on my calendar. Look on my website, LeonardiFamilyWealthCare.com. Look for my contact me and my Calendly link. So that's Roth conversions. I hope you enjoyed it because there is a smarter way to retire, and we'll see you next week.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Mosaic Wealth, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Mosaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Mosaic Wealth. The opinions expressed herein are for general information only and is not necessarily the opinions of Mosaic Wealth or its representatives. Investing is subject to risk, including loss of principal invested. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. No strategy can assure a profit nor protect against loss. It is not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. Please consult your financial professional, attorney, or tax advisor with regard to your individual situation.